All right, I'm going to do some questions from topic 2, lesson 2, point slope form. I'm on page 70. So I really like this first question. What information does the point slope form of a linear equation reveal about a line? So in order to write point slope form, you need two things. You need to know one point on the line, and you need to know what the slope of the line is. So those are the same things that you would find in the equation. So in order to write that equation, you have to have both of those. It's y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. M is your slope. X1, Y1 is just one point on that line. Any one point. It doesn't matter which point. So those are the two things that you can find from looking at point slope form. It works for slope intercept form as well. If you write the equation in slope intercept form, those are the two things you use to write it. So those are the two things that it's easy to find from it. Standard form is the only one that's a little bit different, and that's the next lesson. All right, so I want to do question 5 here. I don't have which questions I gave you for homework right in front of me, but I'm pretty sure I didn't give you any on this page. So, write the equation of the line in point slope form that passes through the given point. This they give you the point and the slope. So we're just going to take what we have here. And I even like to put boxes around what I'm entering. So this is part of the formula, y minus whatever this point is, and then mx minus whatever this point is. It's really important because if these points are negative, they become positive, because minus a negative would turn it positive. We don't have that in this case, so I suppose I could also do number 6. Jack, you're gonna have to move. All right, I need some space to write. So for the first one, it's just 1, 5, and m equals -3. So 1 is x, 5 is y. Here's x, y, and m. So I take the formula y minus 5 equals -3x minus 1. Put the parentheses there, and that's it. So I have my slope here. I have 5 and 1 here for my x and my y. All right, this will be a little bit different just because I've got that negative there, but I still set it up the same. Y minus y equals m times x minus x, but x is -4. Since the formula says x minus this value, minus the -4 is going to turn into plus. There. And that's it. That is the answer because it just asked me to give it an equation in point slope form. Some of them will tell you use point slope form and change it to slope intercept. Others will ask you for slope intercept, but, well, I mean, you wouldn't do that with this. There'd be easier ways, but you could put it in this form and change it to slope intercept after, and we will have some problems like that, like down here. All right, write an equation of the line in point-slope form that passes through the given points. And now they gave us 2 points, but they didn't give us the slope. And we have to have the point and a slope to write the equation. So I know I can find the slope if I have 2 points, just using slope formula. So I'm gonna write the question down here, and I'm gonna write the equations that I need above it. And until you get really good at doing this math, I would write these equations on the top of every page. If you're writing something in standard form, look up what standard form is, write it on the top of your page. So I need to do point slope for this. But since they didn't give me slope, I need slope formula, which is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And then I need to turn it into, let's see, this is slope formula. And then I need to turn it into point slope form. So I'm going to write that here. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So first I'm going to plug these in, and remember, it doesn't really matter which one you put as x1, y1 and which one you put as x2, y2. That doesn't look like a y, sorry. It doesn't matter which order you put it in, but if this is x2, this is y2. But if I said this is x1, this would have to be y1. But if I flip-flop them, it doesn't matter. I'd get the exact same answer. So m equals 6 minus 2. And see, this is where it's important, because a lot of people want to just take the big number and put it first, but you can't. Since I put the 6 first, the 1 goes first. 1 minus 4 on the bottom. 6 minus 2 is 4. 1 minus 4 is negative 3. So my slope is negative 4/3. And this here, if you had a negative here or a negative here, then the answer is negative. If both of these are negative, you're dividing and it makes it positive. So we have the slope and we have 2 different points. You can use either one to make point slope form. Okay, so plug this in for m, plug in a point for y1 and x1. I'm going to do it right underneath the formula just to make it easy to see. So my slope is negative 4/3. And remember, oh, I didn't do it here. I'll just put the boxes around. It makes it a little bit easier to visualize. Okay, so those are the things that I plug in, and the rest of it just comes down. And y1, let's see, if I use this formula, then I plug in 4 for x1, check, stop, and 2 for y1. And this is the answer that you give. They asked for an equation in point slope form. The next one, they give us an equation in point slope form, and you're going to change it into slope intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. M is your slope, b is your y-intercept. Remember, this is how fast your line goes up or down. That's where it crosses the y-axis. So they gave us this equation. This is question 9 in the book. Y minus 6 equals negative 5 x plus 1. All you need to do to change an equation into slope-intercept form is solve for y. The only thing on this side is y. And then technically you should have your x value in the front and your whole number after it. So the first thing I'm going to do is distribute because I don't need these parentheses here. So negative 5 times x is negative 5x. And negative 5 times 1 is negative 5. Or you can put minus 5. Because remember, minus and negative is exactly the same thing. I'm going to bring the y minus 6 down. And now I want to get the y by itself, so I'm going to add the 6 over to here. And my final equation is y equals negative 5x plus 1. And that looks like slope-intercept form, so that should be good. Okay, and then question 10. Write the equation of the line in point-slope form. So to write an equation in point-slope form, I need to find a point and I need to find the slope. So I have a point here, 2, negative 1. 2, negative 1. And to find the slope of a line, I'm going to draw a slope triangle. And it's really important that you follow along the line to where it crosses at these corners here, because those are where they're whole numbers. If you're trying to estimate where it's crossing in between, obviously since it's going every 2, this is crossing halfway, but you don't want to have to estimate. So I would just always go to where it's crossing at the next corner. And it doesn't matter which one you go to, or even if you make the triangle too big, because it'll simplify and it'll always come out to the same slope. I'll show you. So if I do one here, I can see my slopes going down 2 and over 1. And I could do that at the next time that it's crossing, and it's also going to go down 2 over 1. Or if I made my triangle too big because I didn't see that first one, it would go down 4 over 2. And when I write down 4 over 2, I would still end up dividing that and get negative 2. So the slope of this line is negative 2, or negative 2 over 1 if you like to write your slope like that. I'm not going to mark you wrong if you write your equations like that. Y minus y1, and this is negative 1. So it's going to be plus 1. And then I'm going to put equals negative 2 because that's my slope. Oh, this pencil's killing me. And then I'm going to put my parentheses and x minus 2. And that is what it should look like in point slope form.